Hey friends, it's Andrea from the blog Pine and Prospect Home, and today I want to share 6 cheap and easy ideas for exterior stone. So how can you use stone around your property and not spend a lot of money, right? Because I think people, when they think about stone or rock or, gravel, a lot of times they are seeing dollar signs because it can be pricey, but I have incorporated a lot of stone around our property and I've done it very, very affordably and in some cases even for free. So I kind of want to share some ideas with you guys, and along with those ideas for using stone, I want to share with you how we were able to do it so affordably. And I wish I could be recording this video outside, but it is freezing outside. We had gorgeous weather here in Michigan last week, like in the 70s. I should have recorded this video last week because today it is dark and cloudy and freezing in the 40s, and we had snow just a little bit ago, and then sleet and then hail. So really sad and a little depressing, but that's Michigan for you. I'll just have to record inside today. Before I talk about these 6 ideas, I do want to tell you guys about a new app that I am absolutely loving. Okay, so this app is called Planta. It's an award-winning plant care app that helps users around the world to keep their plants alive. So today, Planta has over 5 million downloads, and it is helping to take care of over 20 million plants from around the world. I love this app. You guys know that in the new year, I decided to buy some plants. For a long time now here on YouTube, people have been saying, why don't you have real plants? And I was always sort of just intimidated by them and kind of nervous that I would just kill them. But I decided to get some, just a handful, try them out, and a lot of them are still alive. But I wish I had known about this app 4 months ago when I got my plants, because it literally helps to take the fear out of caring for your plants, and it's just wonderful. So let me tell you a little bit about it. So the core feature that I want to talk about when it comes to this Planta app is the intelligent care schedule. So basically, this app is going to remind you when it's time to water, mist, fertilize, clean, and repot your plants. So the intelligent care schedule is individually adapted to your unique plant's preferences, such as humidity, local weather, temperature, daylight, plant size, pot material, the distance to the window that it needs to be, and so much more. There are some specific features that I love about this app, like the Dr. Planta, which helps you figure out what's wrong with your plant. If you feel like maybe the leaves are turning yellow or it looks like it's dying, you can use Dr. Planta to see what's wrong. There's also this awesome feature that's a plant identification. So if you're not sure what your plant even is, or maybe you're at the store, a lot of times they aren't even labeled. This neat feature helps to identify your plants, and then you can see exactly what they are. There's also a light meter that tells you exactly how far away from the window your plant needs to be. And there's also a Discover tab on the app, which I really like. And basically it's personalized plant content based on skill, interest, app usage, season, and so much more. If you are wanting to purchase plants but you're very intimidated, I would highly encourage you to grab this app. I'm going to include the link and my promo code in the description below, and I'll put it here on the screen. It's Pine and Prospect 14, which gives you a 14-day free trial of the premium plan on this app, so you can try it and see if you like it, which I think is so cool. Who doesn't like to try something before deciding whether or not they like it? So I love that about this promo code. Make sure you take advantage of it. I'm going to put all the details in the description below. I hope you'll check it out. Okay guys, so now let's talk about my 6 ideas that are cheap for landscaping with rock or stone, whatever you want to call it. I apologize for the lighting today. I can just tell it is getting darker and darker outside. It's like rainy, snowy mix. The sky is so dark. I'm doing my best to get as much light as possible here. So the first idea I want to share with you, if you're looking to incorporate stone or rock around your home, is to use stacked stone for raised garden beds. So When we purchased our home, there was like no landscaping, especially in the front of the house. It was just very basic, just grass basically. And my sweet mother-in-law has a green thumb. She knows so much about flowers and plants. And here's my first tip for you. Ask around. If you know somebody who is very good with this kind of thing, they're good at gardening, they're good at landscaping, they have a gorgeous yard, maybe it's even a neighbor or someone down the street, ask around, because she knew a guy who had some stone that he gave to us for free that we used for my front garden beds. Literally free. And I know people are gonna put in the comments, well, you're just lucky, and that doesn't happen to everybody, and that's not realistic. Believe me, I get it. I have a YouTube channel. People probably think I'm like outgoing and talkative, and I am not. I am very much an introvert, and I'm scared sometimes to talk to people and to like ask for help. That is not my personality at all. I am not one to naturally go seek out help. I'm usually one that like, I'm gonna figure this out, I can do it. But when it comes to your home and trying to make improvements, seriously, ask around. We got all of that stone for free. It made the most beautiful impact in our front yard. That stone just, to me, it adds so much charm. And when the hydrangeas bloom, it's just absolutely stunning. So, raised garden beds. Another way to incorporate stone into your landscaping is to create a pea gravel patio or even maybe a walkway. Pea gravel is one of the most affordable types of stone, and I can't remember how much it's going for currently, but we have a pretty large pea gravel patio in our backyard. And I would say some tips for saving money. You don't want to go to the store and buy those little bags of pea gravel to do something like a patio. If you're just doing a little pathway, fine. But you always save money when you purchase in bulk. You always do. So my tip for you is to drive to a local quarry. That's what we did. We borrowed my father-in-law's truck. Actually, he went and got a few loads for us on his own. I have amazing in-laws. And you just have them fill it up, as full as you can get it. And you bring it back to your house yourself and you dump it out into whatever area you are using it. So that's a tip for you. At first we're like looking at these little bags of pea gravel that they stack up, outside of home improvement stores. And we're like, man, this is gonna be pricey, but it's so much more affordable if you can get to like a local quarry and purchase large quantities of it. Number 3 on my list is to create a stone border. So not necessarily, I know we talked about the raised flower beds, but creating borders with stone. Think about different areas like, for example, my pea gravel patio. We used to have it, the border was made out of pavers, but then I thought, what if we switched it up and we used field stone for the border around the patio? And I'll tell you how you can get it super cheap. Now, depending on where you live, I guess this can be tricky, but we live in sort of a rural area, really close to the lake. Like the town I live in is right on the lake, but we're also surrounded by farmland. It's a unique place, very beautiful. Well, we have some farmers that attend our church, and one of them my husband went to, and he said, hey, do you have any piles of stone that you don't care about, that you're willing to get rid of? He was like, absolutely. I have tons of it. He brought us to this mountain literally of stone, and he said, here you go, take as much as you want, it's free. And so we, once again, borrowed my father-in-law's truck. We filled it, we made a couple trips back and forth. We filled it with this field stone and we used it around the border of our patio. Some other areas to think about, maybe you could do a stone border around a tree. We actually did that around the tree within our patio, and plant things inside of that. There's just so many different ideas that you could do with stone. I've even seen like along the side of the house. If you just wanna lay it right along the ground, tear the grass up and plant stuff right up against your house and have that stone border, it adds so much charm and it's so beautiful. So that's my 3rd tip for you guys. My 4th idea for you that is also affordable is to incorporate stone veneer. Not quite as pricey as stone, although it can be expensive. I'll tell you how we got ours so cheap. Check Facebook Marketplace. Go garage sailing this spring. I see people on Facebook Marketplace all the time trying to get rid of, literally give away stone or landscaping type materials. So we got this box of stone veneer at a garage sale. She gave it to me. I think I've shared this story with you before because she saw something at my garage sale that she wanted. So we made a trade. So we decided to put the stone veneer along the bottom of our porch. So maybe you can't cover like the whole front of your house with stone veneer. I wish I could. I love stone veneer. I think it's so beautiful. Although I do love the original shake that's on our house. But maybe you could surround your porch with it, or maybe you could surround your mailbox. I've seen that before. Maybe you could use stone veneer around, like if you have a well on your property, you could build a cute little, what are those called? I don't know if there's like a term for it, but you know, the cute little. Moving on, I used that same stone veneer, so we wrapped our porch with it, and then I used the extra to create like a planting box near our shed, and we put it, that was part of another YouTube video. I think I have one called like 5 cheap outdoor ideas, outdoor projects, if you want to check that video out. And my husband wrapped it around this planter that he made out of concrete blocks, and it just adds this charm right near our shed. We plant flowers in it every spring. So there's a lot of things that you can do with stone veneer as well, and it still looks just as beautiful and adds so much character and charm. Okay, my 5th idea for stone to use in your yard or in your landscaping is to stack it underneath a fence. So we had this issue of our yard sort of sloping, and instead of sloping our fence to kind of go with the slope of our yard, we kept the fence level, but we had this gap underneath of our fence. And I'm like, okay, what's the point of the fence if my little toddler can crawl right out from under it and go into the road? And so we actually went and got some stone from a person that my in-laws knew. They've got a lot of connections. Actually, they moved to Florida. He knew a guy, and we went and we got it ourselves, which always saves money. So if you can eliminate the middleman and try to get a truck and go pick it up yourself and be willing to put in the labor to get it yourself, you'll always save money. And we used it and we stacked it underneath of our fence, and I love the way it contrasts with the bright white fence. I think it looks so beautiful. My dream would be to one day plant like hydrangeas all along our property so that there's like flowers popping out of our picket fence with stone underneath. Oh my goodness. So pretty, but hydrangeas are expensive sometimes. So one of these days. So consider stacked stone under a fence. It's absolutely beautiful. And then finally, number 6 on my list for incorporating stone or rock into your landscaping is to create a stone pathway somewhere in your yard. So I have little pathways around our flower beds in our backyard, and we decided to use some white rock that was going to the dump. Basically, our church had a major addition put onto it a couple years ago, and there were these white rocks like along the side of the church, and they were going to get thrown away. I mean, they were going to demolish the whole thing. And before the excavators came in, I'm like, what's happening with this white rock? And they said it's just going to be, you know, demolished and hauled off. And I asked if I could have it, and my father, my sweet dad, and my cousin like raked it up for us and brought it over. I know I'm going to get comments from people saying like, you're just lucky, you're just blessed with like nice people in your life. I know how blessed we are and how good God has been to us in these wonderful friendships and family members and the love from so many people around us. But I also want to just encourage you guys, you would be so surprised at who around you is willing to help, who around you might have a connection. So don't be afraid to ask. But yeah, so my dad and my cousin, they brought it over and they dumped it out, and my husband and I sort of shoveled it and took wheelbarrows of it and made these paths around the flower beds in our backyard. And it just looks charming, and we love the way it turned out. And so anyways, pathways, walkways, maybe from a garage to a front door, or, you know, from your back door to your patio, or, you know, to a back deck. You could totally lay some stone down, and it just adds so much character. So you do not need to spend thousands of dollars to incorporate rock or stone in your landscaping. Let me know if this video helped you or encouraged you in some way, maybe sparked an idea. And if you have incorporated stone or gravel or rock in your property somewhere, will you leave a comment and let me know how you used it in your landscaping? I'd love to hear from you. I have a blog post all about this, and I included lots of pictures. If you want to go head to the blog and pin these images for later for ideas, that always helps so much when you guys go to my blog for anything. And I would encourage you, I have a search bar at the top. If you ever have questions, or maybe, you know, a video sometimes moves too quickly and you want to look at an image longer, my blog is full of images, and you can find just about anything with that search bar. So take advantage of that. Sometimes I don't get to every comment, and I'm sure that would be a great help to a lot of you. But I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing your ideas, your suggestions. If it were up to me, I would live in a stone cottage. I love stone for whatever reason. I don't need gold, I don't need silver, I don't need diamonds. Just give me some rough stone and some old beams, and I am just like the happiest girl in the world. And I have some stone projects within my home. If you're looking for more ideas to incorporate stone inside of your home, I actually did most of the work all by myself. On our fireplace, we did a makeover with air stone, and I also used air stone on a feature wall in my kitchen. And so that adds a lot of character as well. So I hope these ideas again inspired you guys. Don't forget to check out my description to learn more about that Planta app. Remember, you can use Pine and Prospect 14 to get a 14-day free trial on the 12-month Planta Premium plan. So take advantage of that, give it a try, see if you like it. I've been loving it so far. I feel so much more confident about my plants now that I'm using this app, and I know you guys are gonna love it. So thanks again for watching, guys. It's always so much fun chatting with you, and hopefully we'll get some warm weather here soon and we can get back outside and continue to get the yard ready for spring and summer. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.